Okay, so I know that probably what y'all are thinking is, hey, Willie Ray, I bet you he's gonna make a big old Calf Creek out of that. Now, if your friend just said that to you, do not snort in derision. But the only way that made sense is if they're about 3 beers ahead of you. You see what's happening? Nothing. Got to find some flint in there somewhere. The reason is, when you are working your rock, start thinking in terms of, what will this rock allow itself to become? You know, because it ain't all up to you. And if you think that you're gonna have a good time successfully attempting to deep notch a piece of crap like this, you wrong. Am I saying it can't be done? No. But it takes a level of geniosity combined with luck that isn't frequently found in the human population. Oh, hinged it. Dang. If you're ever around me and I can tell that you are in the slightest bit bothered by imperfection on a rock in progress, I will probably hinge the rock on purpose and leave it there for the remainder of the reduction, just to drive you crazy. Failing. Chalk. One of the quickest ways to figure out if you're likely to get messed over in a rock deal is if the person has just come to a nap-in and is selling off some of their rock, not a large quantity, and they're a napper, why are they doing that? Now granted, they could need to get the carburetor rebuilt on their Lamborghini, but more likely is they didn't want that rock. And if that's the case, it probably ain't because the rock is too pretty and they don't want to be called sissy for working pretty rock. Probably ain't that. Because nowadays, most of us guys will wear mauve rompers, whatever they are, to please our lady folk. I'm not really speaking for the rest of y'all, and I don't have that either, but all I'm doing is hitting that down, trying to raise that up to get it where it's got a point in there. There, back edge over there, way out on the edge here, there, all around the edges. But see, what I'm not doing is I'm not squeezing in the middle. It is so freaking hot. It's like a sauna. It's like I'm in the jungle. I'm in the jungle. We're napping in the Amazon. All this strained semi-comedy is what happens when I'm not really got my brain clicking in a funny mode, which only occurs like once every fortnight nowadays, and try and force it anyway. When people say free association, stream of consciousness, it's hilarious. Like, you think I'm free associating when I'm trying to flint nap? You don't understand. Hang on, I'm gonna try something. Dang, it didn't break. All right, we carry on. Carry on. Now see, a lot of people would have broke that. Straight down, just trimming, just blending into here and raising that edge, turning the edge. This is more efficient than just using that, when you put your finger there, you see how it's not real steep bevel? When you don't want to lose a whole bunch of width and you want to turn the edge and get up and come back this way, which is needed right here, if you do it in this manner, it's more efficient and you get a better result than if you just took and went straight down on it and got a steep bevel, because then you're losing width because you almost got to turn it again when you want to go back to that side because you did so much steep. Now right here, see, I'm holding it off the pad. I'm going straight down. And the reason is I don't want it dirty and chattered up and a whole lot of hinges on the bottom. Same thing with this. When I do this, I go out gently on the sharp edges because I know I'm taking flakes. This is coarse, so I'm taking flakes, and I don't want it to create a whole bunch of little hinges under here. So I just barely catch it and try and knock those things straight down, and then come in with something else. So anyway, don't know what to do now. That's about all I wanted to say about working this kind of crap. Actually, changing horses. I'm gonna try and see if I can salvage this sort of, because that way if I can, y'all will think I'm a genius, and if I can't, y'all will get a big laugh, so either way I win. That's scary. You might wonder what I'm doing here. Think, oh, you're just doing that to save your hand from the sharp edges. No, that's not all. I mentioned this before, I think, but when you have thin edges, you can get transverse fractures occur really easily. So I like to thicken them up a little bit, and then I like to smooth them a little bit. And there's a risk involved in doing this while I'm doing it. But then if you go along them, you get the scratches going the same way as that edge, makes it stronger. And literally, I just increase the strength of this and reduce the likelihood that this will break. And you can either believe that or not, but I did. Okay, so now I'm going to put a dorsal ridge abrasion on that. I'm going to look at this and say to myself, is that even possible? Round off that bump, because I don't want to hit out on the bump. I would not, y'all hold my beer and watch this. This is going to be bad. Yeah, I didn't think it would work. You know why? You know what the real problem there is? It's Keokuk. limey stuff. You better support it when you're doing this. But it is self-correcting. It'll remind you if you don't. It will definitely remind you. Okay, sometimes you get these judgment calls. I can hit along here and remove quite a bit of that. Or I can hit along here and feather into that and remove quite a bit of that. But I can't do both, because whichever one I do will eliminate my ability to do the other. And so this might remind you of a poem by Robert Frost called The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I saved the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. And I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that's made all the difference. Where's my mauve rompers that I was gonna wear? All right. There's really only one reason I'm doing this, and that is to show you that so far I have hit on that end like 26 times and not made this thing fall in half. And recited poetry during that. And do you know why? Do you know how that's possible? Do you know what it is that makes me able to do that? It's called OCD. In other words, I've napped so frickin' much that I have taught my hands how to do some of what they do without my help. Kind of like riding a bicycle. But what I can't teach my hands to do is this frickin' crack. Right here. See that crack? Thick crack, come down to there. How would you get that off of there and save any of this crap? I'm asking, how would you? It's not a test, I really don't know myself. Well, you can hit like that and take part of it off. But see, the problem is I've got to come in See, you can't hit from over here. You don't hit into the side of a crack. I mean, that's folly. That's madness. If you hit into the side of the crack, when it hits to the end of it, it's gonna shock the crud out of the far side when it slams up against it like a bad parking job at Walmart. And when it does that, then when you shock a crack, you know, the whole rock turns into California and part of it breaks off and falls in the Pacific, okay? So you want to hit like this way on a crack. So what you do is you normally would come down, hit down on this, and then shoot straight into there. But in this case, this thing looks uglier than the San Andreas Fault, so I don't know. So I'll just keep hitting it and see what happens. Okay, do you know why that occurred? Oh yeah, I suppose you're gonna blame me. No, I'm serious. Do you know why it occurred? It actually goes even deeper into there. It's damage from the bulbar percussion. It's from whoever hit this rock the first time before I ever got the rock. So you want to blame somebody, blame them, don't blame me. See, there's more damage in there. Thought I was lying, but you know, how did I create that? I just hit straight down. I didn't do all that. Gosh. I don't know what's in them little flat Parmesan cheese things my wife makes, but sure has some strange effects on my behavior. Be right back.